Hey y'all, I'm Ellen. We've been super inspired by our journeys of self-healing and discovery.
And I'm Sam, and we want to share our experiences with you to help you get curious about yourself, reconnect, and get intentional about your life so you know what makes you happy.
Welcome to Woo New, the podcast. Hey y'all, welcome back to Woo New. Today we're talking to Allison Molina of the Lazarus Experience. That's a really amazing space here in downtown, and she holds a lot of events and you could actually rent her space for all sorts of things like photo shoots and all, events of your own. It's a really incredible space. But the cool thing about Allison is that she has a real heart for the homeless crisis here in downtown and started this project called Ignite Community Healing. And so she's been organizing a lot of events to educate the public on the homeless crisis, as well as cleanup efforts that are, kind of going through the streets of downtown and doing cleanups. And she also creates events around donations. So, she enlists people to come and, it's usually a really fun event and you could bring things that you would want to donate and give to the homeless in LA. But it was a really fascinating conversation just about what's going on here, which is not just isolated to LA.
Yeah, I found her to be really inspirational and very, she has such a unique perspective on homelessness, and she does so much work. I mean, she pours her heart and her soul into her work and creating this community and really destigmatizing and rehumanizing.
Mm-hmm.
And I admire her so much for that because so few people are willing to go there, and she is creating massive change. She's just at the very beginnings of this journey, but I can already tell she's gonna do incredible work.
Yeah. I mean, just hearing the way she speaks about it, you're just like, oh my gosh, she's like an angel for this community, It's hard not to feel passionate when you talk to her about this and want to also get involved. So yeah, I loved our chat with Allison.
Yeah, you guys are going to be so inspired.
So we're here with Allison Molina, who's the creator of the Lazarus Experience here in downtown LA. And she's also the creator behind the Ignite Community Healing Project, which I'm really excited to hear more about. And she has just such a heart for the homeless crisis that we all kind of face and see in front of us every single day. And I think for myself in particular, I was just really looking forward to having this conversation because I don't feel like, even though I live in downtown, I don't feel like I really know that much about what's going on. I see it, but, the inner workings and what the actual crisis is sort of very complicated seemingly. And so it's just really great to have you here to talk to us and educate us about everything that you've been learning.
Thank you so much for having me. I've also been looking forward to this moment. I'm just grateful to be able to spread the message and the awareness about the mission. More than anything, that's super dear to my heart right now. So thank you so much for having me. And there's so much that happens behind the scenes. I feel like the scenes of a person, you just never know what each individual is going through, and we all have trauma. So I think bottom line, I started to go through this process of healing within myself. I went through a major breakup and, major life changes. And that was sort of a catalyst to realize that, I had a lot of work to do on myself. And so
when was that?
That happened in August, I would say.
I went through
August of last year.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was really recent.
Yeah, super recent. And it's so funny because it was like a really toxic, abusive relationship. And at the time, I started having health issues. My hair was falling out. I would get my menstrual cycle twice a month. I started realizing, like, wow, I'm under a lot of stress. But I didn't fully understand that, like, obviously, if your emotional body is suffering, like, your physical body is going to be suffering.
100%. Yeah.
That's what creates dis-ease in the body, right? So, literally when that happened and the breakup happened and I was moving through the emotions, a few weeks before that, I was interviewed for Voyage magazine about the Lazarus experience and, you know, the budding foundation. And the article was posted the day after the breakup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I just thought it was funny because I'm like, okay, here I'm letting go of something that I thought was real, this form of love that I thought was real. And the universe was like, okay, we're going to take this fake love away and we're going to replace it with true unconditional love. And so that came in the form of community. When the article was posted, just people that I didn't even know started reaching out to me. And that was it. I realized, like, oh my God, the floodgates are opening up, like, because I decided that I was going to let go of something that was holding me back and creating a lot of adversity in my life. And, you know, and obviously that stems from childhood trauma. And we all know, we all have that. So
I'm going through a lot of cleanup right now myself. In the middle of it.
Yes, sure. we all need to clean up internally. And, you know, that, I guess, inspired me to start cleaning up the streets.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was just like, you know, we're all suffering. We're all in pain. We're all hurt. Like, and nobody's addressing it. And this society is, especially in America, is all about capitalism. It's like, yeah, you know, go to school, get out there, get a job. You know, you focus on, like, you know, all of these things that you have to build to, quote unquote, have a successful life, but nobody ever teaches you to, like, feel your feelings.
Yeah. So
and
true.
Like, and I feel bad for men because it's like they're even more suppressed when it comes to expressing themselves. So it's like all of that pain we're carrying and we're hurting each other. And it's like, what would happen if, you know, and to me, it's like the most hurt individuals, the people that are struggling, you know, the ones that don't have the resources to really survive. And, you know, how I think about all the time, it's like, even when you have your shit together and you have trauma, like you could be waking up every day and wanting to kill yourself, but it's like, you still have to go on your day to day. And it's like, what about these people on the streets that have nothing and have the same trauma? It's like, they need support. And I just feel like there needs to be a voice for the voiceless right now. And I don't know how my own, you know, emotional catalyst in my life kind of brought me to this, but I guess it was just about, you know, bringing forth global healing.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing to me when you create space within yourself and the healing starts beginning. I mean, I keep on saying this over and over, that, you know, healing can only happen on an individual level. Like, you have to heal yourself before it, you know, that's where it kind of ripples out into the world.
Absolutely.
But, you know, if you do the work to change yourself, then, you know, slowly you are shifting the world at large, you know, because we're all energy and we're all connected.
Yes. It's collective consciousness.
Right.
And also you embody that love. And what you are looking, you know, it's so cheesy. Gandhi, of course, talks about it all the time, you know, be the change you want to see in the world. But it's true. But it doesn't just happen like on a physical level. It's like on a metaphysical level. You start to change, and the energy you emit and the vibration that you're on, the higher and higher you go, the more work you do, you start attracting people that are on a higher vibration. So it's great because you're like, oh my God, I'm meeting this, you know, set of individuals where we can all come together and create world change. But also what starts to happen on your journey of healing is people start to believe that they see the light in you. So they're like, oh my God, you're healing. I want to heal that way. Like, do you have the answers? I've had so many people DM me out of nowhere, women, 60-year-old women, 23-year-old women that are like, how do I channel my inner divine feminine? I want to fully heal myself for 2020. And I'm like, yo, I'm 33 years old. Like I'm out here in LA trying to get my shit together. Like I still have trauma. I still have work to do. I don't have the answers, but that will happen. And it's like the healer becomes the person who, you know, needed the healing, that needed to heal themselves. But then unbeknownst to them, even if they don't want that responsibility, it sort of happens. Because like once we keep growing and gain the knowledge, and life is like a video game, you just keep going up in levels, right? So each level is like all of that knowledge and understanding, you take that, that's gold. You use that to help people. That's our job.
It's really beautiful. I love that because I'm just kind of starting on my sort of breathwork guide journey too. And I got certified around August last year. And when you're first starting out, you're like, I don't want to fuck anybody up, you know, like I just like, you know, like I
it's
just
a big responsibility.
Yeah, you know, and my teacher always says, you are already one step ahead of the people that you're going to be guiding, you know, and all that's required. You just need to be one step ahead. And it, like to your video game metaphor of like leveling, even if you're like on a, like just one level higher than somebody else, like in your sort of evolution journey, all you have to do is like reach back and pull somebody up with you. You know, it doesn't,
it's the collective rise.
Yeah.
The collective rise.
I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And just speak your truth and be honest. I think that's the best thing I could say that I've learned is just like, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Like just be real, because there's always going to be somebody that needed to hear that in that moment.
Yeah.
Like whatever you might be going through, there's a reason why you were aligned, you know, for them to go on your Instagram page and see the story that you posted about something that you went through that day. It might be so small to you, but it's like, it just keep it real. And I think more than anything, you know, people will always connect to that because we are all seeking support in some way and love and, you know, just to feel heard, like somebody understands.
Your approach and the way that you speak about all of this stuff is so inspiring, and it's very evolved. I'm like still just can't believe that all of this happened as of the end of last year, really. How have you been able to focus so much energy on doing so much good so quickly?
I mean, I feel like my spiritual journey sort of started when I was like 21. I'm 33 now, so I've been practicing. It's funny you mentioned breath work because it's a spinal breathing technique. It's Kriya Yoga. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but it's basically clearing your chakras when you do it. And so I think my existential crisis happened way earlier than that, which is when I was like 10 years old. Like, why am I here? This is weird. Like, this place is beautiful, but people hurt each other. Why? You know? And so that's when it started for me. And then 21 is when I met my guru and I started doing this meditation technique, and I was able to start traveling and, you know, seeing the world. And from that perspective, you know, obviously poverty all over the world is like something that was hard for me to watch. When the earthquake happened in Haiti, I was able to do some relief work out there too. But I think I've always just had like an innate urge to help in some way. But these past few years were mainly focused on the Lazarus experience, the business side of my life.
Can you
and
tell us a little bit about Lazarus experience?
Sure. Yes, the Lazarus Experience is a production studio in downtown LA. It's also a venue. We do events, all sort of events, weddings, seminars, birthday parties, anything you can think of. But the Lazarus Experience became my platform. And so I'm really grateful that I was able to stumble upon this amazing loft in downtown LA because, I've had many people film there and had great events. But for me, it was like, okay, how am I going to tie in my business into like my mission? And I was like, okay, well, if I can host events here, I can host charity events and like ways to bring people together that are like-minded, that see the issues, the clear issue, the homelessness right now, the human health crisis that we're all experiencing that is affecting all of us. So that's when I decided that I wanted to create Ignite Community Healing. But to just go back to what you asked, Sam, I'm sorry I veered off topic a little bit. I think I reached a point where I'm like, okay, I'm doing well in my business. I'm in LA, like I'm thriving. I feel empowered, after this breakup. But I'm like, I've always was kind of searching for like a purpose. And it wasn't, a lot of people come here because it is the entertainment capital of America. And you want to come here and you're a creative, you want to be famous, you want to get your name out there or make money, whatever success means to you. But to me, I realized early on that wasn't my purpose. I'm like, okay, let me just figure it out. So from the pain stemmed this desire to see who else I can help that's in pain. And I think like in just a very small time from August to now, I feel like when you're ready, you're ready. Sometimes you don't think you are, especially when you're like in a really dark place in your life. But I think that's when spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, starts pulling you into your life purpose and who you really are meant to be on earth. And it's not just about, we all know like the outward fulfillment, or it's really something deeper. It's about, our own individual journeys, but how we can assist others on their own individual journeys on earth. And I think right now is the best time to do it, because there's so much bullshit going on in the world. But I think women are thriving right now, and no offense to men, I love them, but it's like, I think that we were born with the divine feminine energy for a reason. And it's our job to like bring everybody back to love, to self-love, to healing, to intuition. And women, we understand what that feels like, what that is to have that gift. And that's why, my vision with Ignite Community Healing is to bring all of the women of Los Angeles together, hopefully on a global scale, and do like a tour to clean up, cities in America. But also the non-binary and trans community I love, which, everybody's welcome. I have this, just a vision for the women to like, I see just like a revolution, like divine feminine revolution.
What kind of events have you thrown so far?
Ignite Community Healing is, the umbrella for, I would say 3 bullet points. So we want to cover mental health awareness. We want to do neighborhood cleanups and also supply distribution. And that basically entails like, providing supplies for people who are on the streets, for the houseless community. But I envision it as being like, okay, 1 month we're going to focus on cleanups. Next month we'll focus on a mental health awareness mixer, which is what we're doing March 26th. And I'm going to have like a set of panelists, and each one is going to represent almost like a voice for the voiceless. So like one will represent the female veteran perspective and how PTSD has affected her life, how that brought upon, depression and other mental issues that she needed to address within herself. And a lot of these people on the streets, obviously, some of them are vets, some of them have, gone through those experiences and they need supports. Another one will be a sexual abuse trauma specialist. She's a licensed therapist. So each panelist is going to kind of represent just like a variation of like all the types of people that are on the streets that like need help. March 26th is our next mental health awareness mixer, and that's called The Will to Heal. But in September, we started with our first cleanup. So we rallied some people together. We met at the Lazarus experience, provided beverages and, snacks. And out of my own pocket, I bought the trash grabbers. I don't know if you've ever seen those.
Yeah, the little like basically a stick with like little finger prong things.
Yeah, like you'll see the people doing community service and picking up garbage. I bought maybe like 80 of those, and t-shirts and gloves, and we set it all up and people loved it.
Wow.
Yeah, we even had a family come out with their daughters and like kept thanking us at the end, and it was such a fruitful experience. So we're going to do another cleanup that's coming up in the next month or so we'll have all that information on our Instagram at Ignite Community Healing. So it was cleanup, and then we had a supply drive in December for Christmas.
Oh, wow. And people could donate?
Yeah. So we partnered up with the Downtown Women's Center for that one. And then people actually came to the event. It was like a fun event. We had like music and food, and we even set up like a art supply section so people can create cards for the women at the Women's Center. And
incredible.
Yeah, so we made things like that. And then there was like a donation corner where people came and brought all their donations. We had, what are those called? Gift cards, like over $500 in gift cards donated. I mean, we're starting small, but I'm hoping that the more we keep going, and we're just going to keep reaching more people, and the message is going to spread.
The last time I saw you, you were talking about the gift cards that you guys had put together for the homeless, and you had a really interesting perspective on why gift cards. It just made me realize how we have a tendency to dehumanize, it's like an automatic thing. We just have this, the things that we take for granted, we don't even realize is really important. So can you explain like why the gift cards were such a important thing to give?
Yes, definitely. Well, shout out to the Downtown Women's Center, because I feel like they brought about this awareness within myself. But, one of the requests when they gave us a list of items to donate, they said, the women really enjoy these gift cards because they're able to go into the stores, grab what they want, have the privacy of like having a shopping experience versus just having you, donate something that you've already worn or used, which obviously they're very grateful. But like you said, it is a little dehumanizing, even the most prideful person, sometimes it's hard for us to even ask for help.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So just imagine them, they have the same experience. They're people just like us. Like that's the thing that I want to shed light on, is like, they're not lost causes here. They're not another species. They're human beings that are having a hard time. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like people are really confused about some of the true causes of the issues around homelessness and sort of what that community is really dealing with on a day-to-day level.
Absolutely.
I agree. Have you learned, like, I mean, just going through your education about the homeless and in doing the work that you do, I'm just curious, like, what are some of the things that you've actually learned about this community that the average person just doesn't have knowledge of or is privy to?
I mean, I would say I'm still learning so much. It's like I would lie and say that I, have all the facts right. I really don't. I just know that I have the desire. I know I have the will, and the vision. But again, thank you so much to the Downtown Women's Center, because this is something that they actually have on their website. 40% of homeless women are sexual assault survivors. 68% are child abuse survivors. 55% are domestic abuse survivors, and 91% experience or have experienced sexual and physical abuse in their lifetime. So when I went to the Downtown Women's Center, they gave myself and my beautiful, amazing project manager, Hazel Rose, a tour of the Downtown Women's Center. And we were chatting it up, and all of a sudden this woman comes up to us, super happy, glowing, just like the best energy. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, ladies, like I've been housed for 12 months now. I'm doing so well. My business is thriving." She was set to be interviewed for Sun Networks about how she created a business while she was on the streets.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah.
I literally, when I saw that woman, I could not stop crying. Because I was just like, oh my God, how many times do we just sit here and sulk in our bullshit and make excuses and procrastinate for like why we shouldn't do something? And like, here's this person that was dealt a really heavy hand in life and still made it through. And is like, and it really was kind of like a breakthrough moment. It was like therapy. I just can't even explain it. Like, I started crying, and then I start talking about it. And as I'm talking about it, I'm processing, right? And I'm like, oh my God, my mother is a Mexican immigrant. She left her first husband because he was molesting my sisters.
Oh, wow.
At the age since they were babies, all three of them. And so he was actually physically and emotionally abusive to her. He would sleep with a knife to her back when she was sleeping and say, "If you tell anybody what's going on in the household, I'm going to kill you." You know, those stories, right, that you hear about in movies. And she took her 3 daughters and left Mexico and immigrated illegally, and was sleeping in her car with my sisters, on the streets for a very long time. And, fast forward to me being born. I remember even my oldest sister almost resenting me because I didn't have that experience. I have a different father. But I understood why. Like, I understood why my desire to do this work and where it came from. And it was like, oh my God, like this is generational trauma. This is stuff that I'm working on beyond myself, ancestral stuff that my family has struggled through for so long. And I just realized that I had to, be the one to break it. I had to break the cycle. And so that moment for me was like, oh my God, I understand. Like, I understand why I'm here. And so I don't have all the statistics, but yeah, I do know that, the core of our wounding is trauma, and a lot of people have it. So, yeah, I guess that's where that comes from.
I feel like your mother deserves a medal of honor or something. Like, she's so brave.
Yeah.
Incredibly.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I don't want to get emotional, but oh man. Yeah, it's just a lot of work we have to do. We're here not to just do the physical labor of like making money and, creating a home, and like all of that is important, and that's, you know, foundational, but it's all the intangible stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that really needs attention,
Yeah.
you know. And it's tough because I think I was born with I am empathic, and early on as a kid I always saw it as like, oh my God, you're just really sensitive, like, you know, you're picking up on all this. And at the time I didn't know what anxiety was, what depression was, what, like, you know, just panic attacks. I didn't understand it. And then I didn't understand why my body was reacting to energy the way it was. And now looking back, I realize I was created to be empathic because I have so much empathy that I'm able to, like, I really do care, you know, because I will feel the other person's pain in my body sometimes, and I have to remind myself, like, okay, it's not your energy, you know. And we as empaths and healers and people who do want to help and have a mission to create change, we also have to be, you know, careful of
Protective
of how we protect our energy, you know. So yeah, my mother, she was an amazing woman. Maybe she gave me the gift of compassion and, you know, and strength and definitely resilience. So
yeah, oh my gosh,
right.
to be the daughter of somebody with that much guts, I feel like is like such an honor. Yes. You know. Yeah.
But even still, to see her, you know, she's in her 70s now, and it's like she still hasn't worked through half the stuff. Yeah. She has nightmares, like, where she's like screaming, and I'm like, wow, here's this woman, like, she hasn't even gone to therapy, hasn't meditated once in her life, or done yoga, or done all this, like, you know, amazing, you know, we have so many spiritual paths now that we can choose from. But yeah, it stems from how it hits home.
Yeah.
So deeply.
That's why I think our generation is just so important in bringing a lot of this stuff to our parents and grandparents and previous generations who didn't grow up with this and have not had access to it. And even though they may have grown up with religion being more of a thing that connects them, yes, it's still on a different level, you know, where religion is not necessarily inner work. You know what I mean? And that's something that I had to, like, kind of realize fairly recently, you know, just understanding the place of spiritual beliefs when it comes to healing from trauma. It's two very different things. And it's not that your beliefs don't lend a healing hand to that, but it takes so much work, you know, it takes a lot of bravery and a lot of work to actually dig through and find healing in all of the things that you have experienced in your life.
Well, I feel like also it's so important to honor and acknowledge the situations that, you know, those previous generations grew up in. Many of our grandparents lived through the Depression, World War II, you know, and on and on. There wasn't time or the ability, I don't think either, for a lot of people to focus on something as deep as spirituality and that inner work, because it was so much a life of survival.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We're definitely aligned right now. Like, we're riding the wave, because I was just going to say, like, it was circumstantial. It wasn't their fault. I look at my mother, I look at my abuser, I look at people who have hurt me, or, you know, we hurt each other, and it's like, oh, you're just a wounded child. I see the wounded child in you, the wounded child that wasn't given that love and that attention and what you really needed to, like, develop into the fullness of, like, who you are, your essence, your soul, you know. And there have been eras that have been darker than others. And I feel like our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents went through those eras. And they actually call it the end of the Kali Yuga. It's like the end of the dark age.
Oh, wow.
So we're actually generationally in a space right now where things are shifting, just metaphysically, energetically, but there's like, just like women have menstrual cycles, the earth and the universe goes through its cycles. We're going into this cycle of light.
Wow. I feel
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
Sam, I think you have brought up like some insane stat that I still find mind-boggling about how
Yeah, it's like a third of the population of the world right now is having a spiritual awakening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so incredible.
I know. It's so beautiful to watch. And even just me, like being a freak of nature, like being that kid that like was a vegetarian and like, you know, for 6 years before the whole vegan thing became cool. And like, you know, I was going to India and meditating and like getting into, you know, all of these alien like practices that my, you know, Catholic upbringing like did not agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's cool. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like I actually, you know, that little girl, that Allison, that little girl, like she was onto something. You know what I mean? Like my intuition. And yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Now we can actually be heard because people are listening.
Mm.
People are listening. And I always say this about awareness. It's like we're always blessed. We always have these opportunities here for us to be successful and live a happy and healthy life. I think that's what these higher forces want for us ultimately. But when you're stuck in this darkness and you're in a space within yourself, you don't focus on all the beauty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been there. So it's the same thing with awareness. Mm-hmm. It's like the more you become aware of, you know, I don't know, the moon cycles, or like, you know, whether or not if you eat meat, it's going to impact your nervous system, or, you know, just curiosity on like these spiritual things, then as the awareness grows and grows, like we all, since there is a collective consciousness, we all start to, it's like a domino effect.
Expand.
We start to expand, and the more we start attracting the people that are on higher vibrations, like I was saying before, like the community grows, and then the message grows. There's more and more people out there that are speaking of similar things. And then other people who are like, oh, they're crazy. Like we're over here on the other side. I don't know what you're smoking. They start to think, well, maybe they're onto something, because then there's all these other people that are like trying these new waves in this new age of living. So it's a great time to like be alive and just be of support to one another.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is why I think, I mean, what you're doing, especially kind of focused in on the homeless, is just such important work, because I don't think anybody is like, when they see the tents and they see these people sort of milling around the streets, they see a problem, you know what I mean? And it's not a problem, you know, it's more who is actually reaching out to not just like support through handouts, but also really engaging them as like members of our society as well. Mm-hmm. And like treating them like important human beings in the same way that we all are to each other. You know, they I feel like are here to show us something and to actually teach us something, you know?
Oh, yes.
And I don't know, I feel like it's a huge message for like not just us in the city, but, you know, really the world.
It really is. It's almost, it's like, I keep using India because I love it and I've been there many times, but there's like a huge caste system. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that here. It feels that way.
Yeah, 100%, especially as the middle class is kind of shrinking, and now it's just like, so, yeah.
It's like in one extreme or the other. It's like you're either, you know, a baller in wherever, Calabasas, or like you're literally on the street and you have nothing. I wish I could show you guys this meme, but it basically says drug addiction, PTSD, mental illness, domestic violence, assistance cut, income inequality, LGBTQ, family rejection, alcoholism, and student debt. If only the homeless problem was about actually being homeless.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, that is, can you
right.
send that to me later?
I'll send it to you. I was
Wow.
like, yes, this is
Yeah.
what I mean, you know, and I think here's me just being like a huge dreamer, but my entire vision for Ignite is to actually raise enough money to, even if I have to fund it, I don't care if, if I can get my business to be alive and thriving enough where like I can fund these projects. I don't give a shit about trying to get anybody else's money. This is about it having to get done at the end of the day. So I just foresee, buying land and building healing centers. Like
amazing.
So like ashrams. I don't know if you're familiar, but
yeah, that's what I was just thinking of.
yeah. So it's almost like a utopian kind of society outside of the city. I just see it. It's not like I want to like ostracize or alienate them. I just think that we need to get back to connecting with nature. There's something about being in nature that actually scientifically like rejuvenates your nervous system. So I just see and I just look back to like all the times that I was at the ashram in India and I was eating Ayurvedic food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and meditating and being immersed in nature. I would come back in the best headspace of my life, super at peace, and the best physical shape, just so balanced. And it's like, people can get there. It doesn't matter how low you've gone or how much you've lost or how much sexual or abuse or violence you've experienced. Like you can still pick yourself up and be that divine soul that you're meant to be. So I think that bringing kind of like tying all of those elements, right? Like maybe getting them mental evaluations, incorporating art therapy, giving them a chance to grow their own herbs and vegetables. When I went to the Downtown Women's Center, one of the things that stood out to me was they said, we asked the women, we had extra funding. So we asked the women here, what would you want us to build on site? And they said, well, we would love a courtyard. And they built these things called urban farms.
Oh my God, I love those. I'm so obsessed with them.
Oh my God, aren't they amazing? So, and get this. So the reason why they got the urban farms with, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's almost looks like a pole, and like out of it, grow, the herbs and the vegetables, the vegetation. But the reason why they wanted those specifically is because they said some of the women can't lean.
Oh, wow.
They have back problems. They have physical ailments where they can't bend over. And they bought a bunch they only have 2 or 3, I think. But I was like, oh my God, that is so amazing. But the fact that they would request that, I thought was so cool, and also them yearning for a sense of like, being in community, like actually engaging with each other. That was another reason why they wanted it.
Well, how empowering is it also to be growing your own food and like harvesting and, and
that's what they're missing is they just need their self-esteems built up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it provides them even like the simple act of not just growing and cultivating and building community, but growing your own food inherently gives you a sense of more security. So it's like compounded positive benefits from a program like that. Just so cool.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Just imagine like a whole sea of like, our homeless brothers and sisters meditating.
Yeah.
And like being able to grow their own vegetables and, go through these programs, and also maybe, have a career center in there that helps them, with their resumes or headshots. I have a lot of connections with photographers. I own a photography studio, for God's sakes. Like, we can use all of our resources together as a community, each and every person in LA. Like, we're such resourceful beings because we all know that, like, most of us have multiple hustles. It's so hard to survive here. It's like we become so industrious and like multifaceted that everything we've learned, everybody we know, we can like use the resources to create the change. You know what I mean? They're here. It's just the government decides to, pour all their money. I don't know. It's like, I don't even want to go into that one, but it's like the entertainment business, they have so much money. LA is so wealthy.
Yeah.
And it's like the money is being poured into the wrong places.
Oh, totally.
The there's Skid Row. And then I remember a couple blocks away, they did like this whole block party downtown where they built like literally physically built like structures for like, oh, it's a concert experience and you can eat here and listen to music here and this and that. And it's like, but blocks away, there are people over here that are, going through horrible, states of whatever. So it's just like, it really pisses me off. It's like the government knows they're not doing anything about it. The people need to speak up, and then hopefully we can get the people in office to make change, because that's really only the way that, there's going to be a sustainable solution, sustainable change.
Well, that's what I love about your vision too. I feel like it feels sustainable. Like, I actually really believe this. In order to heal, you have to remove yourself away from your life, away from, there's something that comes, like, I'm about to go on this like 10-day, silent meditation retreat. It's a removal of myself from my life, so that I can actually like go heal, and like really find out what's inside of me. And I really believe that anybody who's doing any sort of healing, you have to have that removal from your life, from, distraction, whatever it may be, to actually go inward, do the healing work, and then come back revived and ready to kind of come back into your life again. And just even the what you were describing as like taking these people and building these like very healing ashrams and like sustainable communities where they can do the healing work and then integrate into society again. I don't know. It doesn't sound crazy to me,
Oh my God. I feel like I'm crazy, but I'm just like, I wake up sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much like work to be done, but I keep saying, and my friends probably think I'm crazy too when I say this, but I'm like, if I have to die trying, fine.
Yeah.
If I have to do it until I'm old and like something doesn't happen until I pass away, like whatever. It's something's been started. Something's been ignited, right? Ignite community healing. No pun intended.
Well, and every little bit helps, right? Because I feel like there are a lot of people who want to help and just don't know where to start. And there's so many things contributing to these issues right now that it's hard to know where you can make an impact.
Aside from donating, like what would be your advice to somebody to get involved?
Oh man, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, please follow us at Ignite Community Healing on Instagram. And we're always going to be providing ideas on, how to do so. For me, it's tough because I'm a little bit biased, because I'm like, well, I have a space and I can create events and I can bring people together. But a lot of people, they're like, I'm not doing that. Like, I have a 9-to-5. Like, I have children. Like, I have things to do. Let us be that platform. And that's what I want to be, is like, I want us to be the platform where people can go and say like, maybe I can't, donate because I don't have, the funds to do so or whatnot, but I can take 2 hours of my day and go clean up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
every little bit helps.
Right. Every little bit helps. So and what we're going to do is we're going to be a platform for also other organizations that are doing similar things, because I think it's, it's about collaborating and not competing, right?
Mhm.
Especially in this line of work. So yeah, so definitely, if you're not interested in learning about mental health awareness or getting to know yourself on a deeper level, and then in turn understanding our brothers and sisters, maybe if you don't want to go that deep, you can clean up. It doesn't help. It feels good. So many people at the end of the cleanup were like, I never envisioned to even it's a sense of love. It's like it's like this energy that you get that like can't be replaced, that you can't get from a romantic partner, or validation or anything like that. And I think we're all searching for that sense of wholeness and goodness and kindness, but we don't know how. So it's like, I think being able to provide that platform with this foundation, I'm hoping we can go out there and grab people's hands. And I know that sounds really like hippie and non-structured. It sounds very non-structured, but
but maybe that's what it takes, right?
Yeah, I feel there's too much red tape around the programs that exist, and that's why they're not making an impact.
Right. Because you have to get all these like levels of approval and blah 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 blah, and like secure funding. And I mean,
totally, this change is going to happen at the grassroots level, from the bottom up. Like, we cannot wait for leaders to fix these problems anymore, because it's just not happening.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's not. They're not doing anything about it. We have to take it into our own hands. And then hopefully we can, make some noise and get those officials involved, and I have faith that there will be those who genuinely, in the local government and just in government in general, that have the compassion and the desire to see the change. Because you walk around and you always say like, well, I'm not homeless, or it doesn't affect me, or well, it's not my problem. Actually, it's
everyone's problem now.
It's everyone's problem.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I feel like people think they're so far away from homelessness, but how many of us are living paycheck to paycheck? How many of us are actually,
it's just one accident, one lost job, one major life event away.
Yeah.
We're literally one step away from being homeless ourselves. Like, truly, if you want to really think about it like that, and maybe it takes for us to think about it like that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people think of it as like, oh, that would never happen to me. And if you're not in that position, amazing, like, God bless you. But I don't think that that's the majority of who occupies the city.
Yeah.
I think all of us are, to some degree or another, struggling and trying to
So much of what you hear about is, oh, the housing bubble's going to pop, and then real estate costs will drop again. And it's like, people say that almost interchangeably when the homelessness issue comes up. And although they are totally related, and they're, both caused by a lot of the same issues, or affected by a lot of the same issues, like, they're still entirely different things that need their own solutions. And it's like, okay, well, housing, the price of buying a home might go down. That's great. But what about all these people who can't afford apartments?
Or the security deposit to get into an apartment? Like, that's insane.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And if you don't have references or credit, it all just goes up from there.
What have you learned so far that has been something that you feel is the biggest piece of wisdom that you've taken away from this?
It's funny. This is cheesy, but I do really learn something every day. It's like layers. I think with any project that is near and dear to your heart, you start with in this space of love, and like you want to help, and or you have a vision, but then you still have to think about everything it entails, right?
Mhm.
So that, I'm still figuring out all of the inner workings, but I think more importantly for me, it was like, okay, I'm doing this work for them to help them, but am I connecting with them
Mhm.
Mhm.
like a one-on-one level? Am I? And I started noticing that I could be doing more of that. And we did a Super Bowl Sunday party for a viewing party at the Lazarus Experience for the homeless, where we partnered up with Super Soul. And they're an organization that holds these parties for the homeless for Super Bowl Sunday. And, we set up like the tables for free donations or for the donations for them to take with them, and also a barber in the corner that
Oh, wow.
they can come and get a haircut and get free food, and a little goodie bag of toiletries that they can take with them, right? um, but I'm so glad I did that, because it was like I wanted, more than anything, I wanted to talk to them.
Mhm.
And so there were a few who came through, and you know it's not going to be like a super smooth journey, because a lot of these people don't want to leave where they're at.
Interesting.
A lot of them, because we are prideful humans, don't want to be told what to do, or given rules and all of this. So that's like I think mainly my thing is like, wow, I'm going to have to arrive to the notion that a lot of them don't want to be helped. So I think for me, it's just like about, okay, like I can't figure that, I can't tackle that huge mountain right now, but individually I can try and connect with them. And so that was really special for me, because I just remember, I think his name was, I think it was like Winston. Willie, that's what it was. I remember distinctly, because I said, "What's your name, Winston?" He said, "No, it's Willie. Willie, Willie." And I said, "Okay, Willie. All right, I got you. Like, come on in, get a haircut, get some food. Like, we got a coat for you." And he just wanted to talk.
Wow.
He literally
Yeah.
just wanted to talk about his day, like what he did that day, or what his girlfriend and him are going through. And, it's just like, it's really as simple as that. I know it's not this huge, profound answer, but
No, that actually, that's really profound in itself, because I think the biggest lesson in that is, or the lesson in that is, don't take anything for granted. Something as small as, or seemingly small or insignificant as just asking somebody how their day is.
yeah.
Yeah.
The world to somebody, and I think that that's such an amazing lesson.
Little bits of whatever you can do. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like any form of kindness, of, even a smile, and all that corny new agey stuff, it does really matter. It really makes a difference. Even when somebody says thank you, I'm like, oh wow. Or, if I open the door and they like acknowledge it, or they look at you in the eye, or, and it kind of goes to show how then we really are this collective of consciousness. Because why would we be so affected by like somebody else not acknowledging your presence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The absence,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
When it doesn't feel like love, when it doesn't feel like positive energy, like, I don't know, let just shift it. You know what I mean? Because we're all riding the same wave of this energy, this emotions, and whatever we're going through. Just not thinking like I'm different than them, like, or I'm better, or like, because, do you know what I mean? Like, just focusing on the humanity and
Yeah.
their soul. Like, you look into their eyes and you're like, wow, like, you've lived many lives. there's so much wisdom in there, you know?
Yeah, you know, and so often when people talk about homelessness, it's in the context of statistics, which I think makes people feel that much more farther removed from it.
Right. It's just numbers.
And yeah, and now especially in LA, that there everywhere you go, really you see the issue, and you see all of these poor people, you know, living under the overpasses and everywhere else. And it's like, we just need to not look at it like an us versus them mentality of like, oh, they're bringing down my neighborhood, or, you know, I don't want to drive in this area anymore, you know, whatever it might be. And just think like, we're all just trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And we're all just, this is our collective neighborhood. So like together collectively, we can help bring it up.
Right.
And so when we like find ourselves in those everyday those everyday interactions, especially now with all of the stuff that's going on, it's like, let's just be people.
Yeah.
It's so real.
Truly.
And even if you want to be an asshole, like, and just check yourself.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? Like, if you find yourself being irritated by, and I'm going to be honest, this is me being completely forthcoming. Like, I'll walk down the street, I'll walk my dog, and then, you know, sometimes they're blocking the sidewalk. And I'm like, man, how am I supposed to get through this to the other side of the sidewalk, you know, and I'm like, you know what, Allison, just go around. Like, they're thinking about how they're going to stay warm, or like where they're getting their next meal, or like over here, the guy's like sweeping the sidewalk where, you know, that's like his front door. Right. And it's like, man, you know, we're all just doing the best we can. Like, we really are. And to just, I think that anytime we get irritated or we're upset about something, it usually doesn't have anything to do with anybody else anyway. So just like check your ego, you know, and I have those moments sometimes, and then I realize like, well, what am, like, just go over there and connect, or, you know, see what you can do, or like if you have anything left over, whatever. And sometimes even recycling, that's actually a good way to help. If you are aware of like your cans and your plastics, everything that you're recycling, you can always, you know, set it aside and maybe like give it to one of them, because sometimes they make their money that way. But, you know, that's just a side note. And it's tough if you don't have a house and a driveway and all that good stuff, you know, especially in this overpopulated place. But it's going to be an interesting journey, let me tell you.
Well, thank you for doing all the work that you're doing already, and just for your heart for it, you know, like, I think it's really special and it's inspiring to see. And man, I feel like I learned so much in this hour. Just
really?
like,
yeah. You guys, I learned so much from you guys too. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, it's really been an honor. Thank you for doing everything that you've been doing.
Yeah, truly. Yeah.
Oh man, it's just scratching the surface, but we can, we just have to stay in that hopeful space, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Allison.
So if you guys would like to find more information on what Allison is doing, on Instagram, you can find her at Ignite Community Healing, or online at thelazarusexperience.com/community. And Lazarus is spelled Lazarus.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please take the time to rate and review us. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much for listening. Music for Woo New is composed by Adam Miller.